air pollution, the particles and chemicals that float in the atmosphere damaging the ecosystem. But what causes air pollution? Although there are natural causes such as volcanic eruptions and wildfires, majority is still caused by us humans. But how? And is there anything we could do about it? For structure, this video will talk about air biodiversity and the effects of humans or organisms in the atmosphere. Here is Kenshin to enlighten us with some statistics on air biodiversity.
Researchers are exploring the dynamic interrelationship between natural ecosystems and air quality, advancing our understanding of how air pollution can negatively impact forests, lakes, and other natural ecosystems and the benefits they provide. Here are some examples on where airborne particles and the chemicals harm ecosystems. Atmospheric disposition of nitrogen and sulfur resulting from air pollution is a major stressor to natural ecosystems, often leading to acidification and eutrophication of both terrestrial and aquatic ecosystems. In the UK alone, 15% of all species are threatened with extinction, and 41% of species have declined in abundance since 1970s. Historically, plants and insects had relatively low extinct rates, making these figures more ominous. Scientists cannot come to an anonymous conclusion as to what is causing this 6 mass extinction, but one unavoidable factor is air pollution. Almost 100,000 species have been assessed so far for this inventory of endangered species. Of these, more than a quarter are threatened with extinction, ranging from Madagascar's lemurs to amphibians like frogs and salamanders, and plants such as conifers and orchids. Here in the Philippines, among those who are threatened with extinction are the tamaraw, Philippine eagle, golden-crowned flying fox, hawksbill turtle, Irrawaddy dolphin, red-vented cockatoo, and other iconic species.
Now that we've determined that air biodiversity is truly declining, in what specific ways do we humans harm our ecosystem?
Hello, my name is Kenneth and Baltazar, and I'm here to tell you how are humans impacting the greenhouse effect. Human activities are changing Earth's natural greenhouse effect. Burning fossil fuels like coal and oil puts more carbon dioxide into our atmosphere. NASA has observed increases in the amount of carbon dioxide and some other greenhouse gases into our atmosphere. Too much of these greenhouse gases can cause Earth's atmosphere to trap more and more heat. This causes Earth to warm up. The process of burning fossil fuels releases various pollutants as well as an important greenhouse gas and carbon dioxide. We know that the use of gasoline and diesel to power vehicles is a large contributor, but overall, transportation only accounts for approximately 13% of total greenhouse emissions. The single largest culprit is the electricity production by coal, gas, or oil-burning power plants, with a total of 20% of all emissions. The various industrial processes that use fossil fuels are also to blame. For example, large quantities of natural gases are needed to produce the synthetic fertilizer used in conventional agriculture. Just the process of extracting and processing coal, natural gas, or oil involves the release of greenhouse gases. Those activities make up 11% of total emissions. This includes natural gas leaks during the extraction, transportation, or delivery phases. This leads to toxic air pollution which can cause serious problems, such as cancer, reproductive complications, and birth defects.
Hi, I'm Casubuan and here to give you a brief introduction about SMOG. So, what is SMOG? SMOG is an air pollution that limits visibility. In the early 1900s, the word smog was first used to describe a combination of smoke and fog. The smoke was typically the product of coal burning. In industrial areas, smog was widespread and remains a common sight in cities today. In the mornings, smog is often worse because there is less air movement. According to the nationalgeographic.org, photochemical smog is the bulk of the smog we see. When the sunlight reacts with nitrogen oxides and at least one volatile organic compound, or VOC, in the atmosphere, photochemical smog is formed. Oxides of nitrogen come from vehicles' exhaust, coal power plants, and pollutions from factories. Gasoline, paint, and several cleaning solvents release VOCs. So, what are the most common causes of smog? First is coal burning and transportation emissions. Coal fires can emit substantial smoke clouds that lead to winter smog formation. And traffic emissions also contribute to the production of smog, such as from cars, buses, and other industrial vehicles that emit smoke. Airborne byproducts from vehicle exhaust system cause air pollution and are major ingredient in smog development in some large cities. What are the health effects of smog, or what can it cause to our body? Those that suffer from heart and lung conditions are the people most at risk. Many of these concerns are more prominent in older people, making them more likely to suffer the harmful effect of air pollution. Since smog is a mixture of air pollutants including particulate matter and ozone, a number of things can depend on its effect on your health, including climate, the quantities and types of pollutants, your age and your general health status, the weather, how long have you been exposed, and where you are currently residing.
Toxic pollutants are some of the most hazardous elements for us living creatures. Major sources of these substances come from gasification of coal, from power plants, industries, and refineries, combustion of gasoline to vehicular engines, and these also include materials with chemical or solvent-based products like paint and adhesive. Toxic pollutants highly impact the environment because these substances can deposit onto soils and surface waters. Because of the increasing concentration of these toxic substances being deposited in ecosystems, these substances can be accumulated or bioaccumulated by plants and animals, including us humans as well, which means that it can be stored indefinitely in the body over time. With that, these substances can lead to cause serious health effects like cancer, cardiorespiratory problems, developmental defects, and even neurological effect that may lead to death.
It is evident that we humans are causing the decrease in biodiversity. But what can we do to counteract that? For starters, we could travel greener or utilize renewable energy.